Gotta write a tweet. Honestly, I'm just retweeting my own quote tweet. Quote tweet, quote tweet. Quote tweet, quote tweet, quote tweet. Quote tweets. Some people mute their mic within these segments. And maybe that would be smart. Instead, you get a little monologue. Don't forget your headphones, or things will not be working out. Seems to be going well. Let's get started. Hello Twitch. Back for more of this game. So, what? Let's get into it. So we were about to do this thing. Gotta need a second to get familiar again. So there was a current dead end with, I am assuming, an ability we get in that somewhere here. Okay. Getting the hang of it again. So this one I can't hurt, I guess. Not that I have to, anyway. That seems to be a good way of doing this. Might be a good idea to equip some of the other things. The one that makes these kind of attacks better. That makes sense now. I have no idea how good these attacks are, but they're fun. I still got it, which is weird to say because I honestly didn't have it before. Oh, sure, let's go this way. We got a terminal. So... oh, it's that kind of thing. We can craft various things, but I'm not quite sure there's anything good to craft. Nope. There are these attack thingies, which... oh, right, we could at some points probably dig. But I'm not quite sure there's gonna be any digging opportunities in this kind of area. I mean, it's pretty thick ground. Would be very surprising if you could dig here. Okay, that's not the way. Curious. Wait, we gotten a map, right? So potentially there should be something this way. Right. So I guess I didn't quite know what I was doing again. Yet. But then again, we're 6 minutes in. Easy peasy. There does not seem to be much of a reason for that particular thingy yet. I do not know what you are, but I'm not gonna find out. Okay, this one is fairly easy. Should just do this. Do that, and then we're gonna... Wait. Wait. What? I am confused. What? Is that higher than I thought it was? No, I am really confused. Well, not doing too badly here. Oh, we turned on the light. Oh. Interesting. Still not sure why I can't do that here. Is it just not high enough? I guess. So some platforms are gone. Interesting. Interesting mechanic. That's a key. Oh, there's a key required. We get an elevator down. I do like being fast, that's for sure. How do I get on there, huh? That's what I wanna know. It looks like something you could get on, but not sure how. Oh. Fishing! That's not bad, if I had any reasons to grab it. Oops. Well, time to fish. Okay. Well, not bad. Not really that useful, but hey. Fishing. I do like me some fishing. Some money. Don't mind if I do. That was too early. Ooh. Nice. We don't have space for that. Oh, we do. We do. We do. I mean, on one hand, I am hesitant to use them, but on the other hand, I'm also hesitant to use them because I don't really have a use for them. Okay, so that's a way to get here from the other side. We got a way here. Don't know how to deal with that one now. Might be something to do that we can do here. Indeed. Okay, more of these things. I was a little bit faster. Well, I guess I gotta go down there. The corrupt order will reveal only to those who do not fear the night. Okay, I see. I need to turn off the... I need to turn the light off. Well, let's do that. Let's turn off the light again. I did try at least once to... Well, I tried to guess. That's it. Well, let's find out what we can see here now. Ah, I see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we go whoop, whoop, that one, and then he broke the one last. What does that give me? It's a key. Sure. Now does that also unlock something else, huh? This is in itself the room down below, but I don't think that's inherently... I don't think that inherently matters. Oh, I could have just done that. I see. Yeah. Well, that's a complication I didn't think about. Oh, I see. Oh, I don't. Now I do. And also, now I understand what I need to do here to begin with. Put it here. And then we can jump. On there. Whee. So we got that and up, and we have to do the whole thing again. Well. Well. Didn't even have to push it, huh? Should just be like this. A drifter ship. Ooh. That's interesting. Only really makes sense when we're actually using now guns. Another shuriken. Which is what we're using right now. I have no idea what other things we unlocked via that light switch. I want to find out. Later. You know what? The super fast stuff is fun. Oh wait, I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do something like this. Oh. I think you might be a puzzle. An interesting one. Ah, I see. And I need to actually press the right button. Oh, wait, never mind. I was overthinking. Ha. Do we need to see the room right below us? I don't think so. There might be things we can only reach that way. Oh, wait, I have an idea. I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not quite sure how to do anything with it. Okay, that didn't quite work. It's trying to be sneaky there. And kind of just... oh. Be sneaky. I can also go down here. What's here? Oh, right, that one. Oh, that's the room that we could see from above. I don't know how that's helping us. But I wonder if we could jump down on this platform. Oh, I know what to do. So we go here. We punch the light switch and then we jump down there. Hehehe. And that's it. I think, at least. Still don't know how to get up in there. And then we get back up and we have managed to get past that wall. Oh yeah. And then we can just go whoop, grab this thing, put it down here, and that's it. No puzzle. Oh, ho ho, secret tunnel. Let's go down, let's go up, I guess, first. Because I'd like to see what is here. Things. Ah, okay. We have another light switch here. Some health. Even though hitting them seems to be counterproductive. Okay. Let's see. What do we need? What can we get? And first things first. We have this thing, which we need to get past this block. I see. As always, it's time for the boomerang. It's always the boomerang, not a shuriken. Then we can use this down there. And I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna use that. Not of the shuriken. I guess it's a shuriken. Actually, yeah, that was it. Well, not the shuriken, obviously. I always forget that I can go fast. And it's another key. Okay, I thought that would get me. Oh, that's annoying. Lol. We can get through there. There's the secret place. We have a shortcut. Where is this? There's an electrified rail, so that's where that is. Okay, so this is the early stage of the game. Not of the game, but of the level, really. I want to get to that secret area we've seen. Well, not this way. This way. Let's see. Should be easy. Murder machines notwithstanding. Because if there's a secret area, then naturally there should be something to do with it. Machinery room. I see, except I don't. There's something here, but I don't know what, and I cannot do anything about it right now. Well, I guess I'm gonna move on. Okay. I need to put my mic a little bit lower, because otherwise my camera can't pick up my mouse quite as I'd like it to. Alright. Well, it's time to go through the door. That part doesn't even need a commentary. And we have some kind of dipshits. And one master dipshit. Impressive only in the way that they're bad at this. There being two of them makes them harder, obviously. More of you assholes. They seem to be getting better at the game. Well, I might be getting better at the game, but these fuckers are also fairly hard. Oh, well, they're annoying. But then again, I got Spinner. Ooh. The spinner. Ooh. That might be also a way to break that up though. Woohoo! That's a cool way to go forward. Screw you, statues. Woohoo! Very nice. Luna's diary. The human Seraphina trusted me with a shard of the meteor. It was not hers to give, and yet I took it as a token of trust. The fear of the towers rubbed onto me as well, as they cling to the last moments of their existence like vermin on a rotten body. Wait, who is this? The age of humankind is gone, but they are willing to take it all down with them. What? Are the humans gone? Huh. Well, that I didn't expect. Oh, you can just punch them. Yeah. Interesting, I don't have to do the jumpy thing. It feels like I should. It also feels like whatever's there is gonna be some kind of big old thingy. Okay, that just leads me in a circle, huh? Well... let's see... There are a couple things that I'd like to do. I mean, let's first activate the light again. And let's see whether we can break that door. Also, gotta think, no, we did have to jump. We got more dust. And we unlocked some kind of shortcut. Where's that? There's also some other things we should have unlocked by now. But I'm not exactly sure where most of them are. Okay, first of all, I know what this is. And I'm not really that interested in it. Thankfully, you don't sustain any damage from falling down there. Nope, because it's so easy to do it. Okay. Too bad. I thought I could just kind of destroy these things. Would be nice, but let's see what we can take this thing on now. I hope we could, but we can't. So there are a couple of things that we could unlock in the areas. But I think I'm not gonna do that yet. Like, we're gonna get back to those afterwards anyway. So it should be fine if we just move on, yeah. Especially since I unlocked the shortcut. Make it a lot easier. Let's see. Right here. So that tells me one thing. Actually, it tells me a bunch of things. Mostly it tells me, hey, we have more things to unlock. What's the best place to get down, I guess? It probably is down there. Also, there are more things to unlock as well. Whoa, yeah, here, for example. Let's concentrate on fighting this dipshit. Since we had full health, might as well get the health. So that is the actual place where we'll be going once we're done the thing. So I did very well remember that there was a thing here. So we need to activate the light switch again. Or we need to activate a light switch. That's the fastest, for sure. And that should get us right where we need to be. Yeah. And I have already seen the other thing we needed to do. Oh, the other place. No, please, I need to go the other way. Okay. So we activated the light switch, or we deactivated it, rather. Which unlocked the more stuff. I didn't want to do bad Italian accent there. Sorry. So I see. Well, that's a switch for that matter. Not that much more here, but that should unlock a thing for us. The other thing I can do, possibly, is get here. Yeah. Which actually, wait, what? Oh. So I didn't need to do that. And that's another area where we need to go, because there's another rail. So let's see. It does not seem to be that there's anything else. No, there's a way here. No idea what does anything. Okay, in other words, we can do whatever. This seems to be a typical You gotta go to the other side. Kind of puzzle. So let's get down there. Yes, I know that. We got a lot of stuff here. More things. And I keep having trouble not being on the thingy. Now I should be going back, quite frankly. Ah, that dipshit! And that's the wrong thing to do. Ooh, boy! No! Dang it. Okay. I guess that's it. Spinach chip. Spinner's attack +2. I guess that would make this thing better. I don't really think I'm gonna use that. Let's get off this thing and, well, pretty normal procedure here. Putting on the light. We got this mechanic once more. That's okay. That's a lot of jumping, huh? Sure, a lot of jumping, huh? A lot of jumping indeed. Which I'm not necessarily that good at. But thankfully there isn't that much of a penalty for it. Oh! Found the chest! It's a revive cook! No. I have actually 2 of them, huh? So many of them. Let's just destroy that stamina cook. And then we can get another revive cook, which I should activate the moment we are in the boss fight. I do not understand whether they're time-based or not. So there is apparently a thing here, but I'm not quite sure what it's good for. Well, that answers my question. So we get more chests, which is actually good stuff. And Luna's diary. It's still hard to wrap my head around all the events of the war. I was designed to safeguard humans, but it's her. That's the thing we already had. That is the entryway, I believe. Might as well recharge. I could equip some of these chips. With I don't know which one, honestly. Like, that's already a good one. I get a spinner thing. But that's a different thing in itself. Spin charge chip? I don't really like the spinning stuff. So I don't think I'm gonna change anything here. Oh, wait. I wanted to recharge. Almost forgot about that. So... where to? Okay, so... that's where we came from. I'm not quite... I have no idea where to go. Oh, god damn it, this is annoying. Okay, I gotta make sure that I jump on the right, in the right direction. And that's not it. Let's actually find another way, because I don't really want to... I'm not even quite sure where I need to go. Oh. There's my stuff. Oh, there's actually an attack that you do. And not just, you know, wildly spinning about. Okay. I do prefer to widely just kind of smash the button. And another meteorist. That's good. There's probably more of these somewhere around. Potentially. Let's see. Well, I mean, first of all, we can obviously take out these. Don't have to, but I like to. Okay, there's nothing more here, I think. I do have this. Okay, so there is well, there's some kind of indication what's happening. What needs to happen? It's probably still easier to go this way. Just gotta do it right. There's also the fire thing. And I'm not quite sure how that comes into play here. Well, obviously it's not this one, I believe. Okay. As you can see, there's another one of these. Back. We go, and then... not my intention. And not what I need to do, but kind of cool. No, what I need to do is get on here. And then we have these kind of mechanic again. And right now, we messed it up. If falling down here would give me any kind of damage, I would be so bad. It would be embarrassing. But thankfully there isn't. Aha! I mean, at the very least, that is fun. More secrets. Well, I mean, honestly, those are what you're supposed to do. So it's not much of a secret. That could have gone better. Okay, that's not particularly useful. Okay, what does this do? Opens the door here. This opens a door there. And closes another one. Hehehe. That was the puzzle. Oh, that was puzzle number 1. Now we... no. Yes! We can put this here. We can grab this thing. Open up the door again. This thing we can... and we are almost there. Okay, I see. I do believe we need to do this once more. Obviously. I mean, I guess we could have gotten from the other side, but that wouldn't help us. Since we still wouldn't be able to get out. And that's another key. Well, what was that door? There. What exactly? I guess I gotta go back? Not here. Where actually? Here? Yeah. And then... yeah, I know. I mean, it's close. Oh. Never mind. It was a lot easier than I thought. Just had to hit that button. Okay. Okay, that's just an old enemy. There should also be. Oh, right. That's a place I can't get to yet. Let's see. Here? Maybe? It's a little bit easier to see anything with the lights on, but I'm not quite sure it's necessary. I know that. But where exactly did we come from? Am I overthinking this? Maybe. Okay, let's go back, I guess. Because I guess I don't believe it's that way. Okay, let's think small. We can't go here. We have gone here. So what do you... Okay, I see what we need to do. I still don't know what the... some of the other things are for. But what we need to do is... let's see... So we need to get here, which gets us back mostly. And then there should be an elevator somewhere. I just gotta quickly recharge, because not really a reason not to. So... Ah, there's the elevator. Let's get on that one. Which... Okay, yeah, that's easy. She says. Honey, I know that. You're being a little bit annoying. Not even gonna bother with him. That was in fact faster. Totally intentional. Definitely. And that should be almost it. Yes. I do believe that's it. Excellent. Obviously we can grab one of these. We probably want to use this way back. Yep, that seems to be the most likelihood. The most likely route to success. Let's see. That's not it. It's a very simple jump, and yet getting a little bit annoyed. Honestly, not really. And we go back. I think that pretty much puts us at the boss fight. Which is a good point to take a break. So I'm gonna do the things that you need to do, and we're gonna see each other in a couple minutes. I'm back. Okay. Good. I wonder, should I upgrade the shuriken before I do anything else? Yeah, let's upgrade the shuriken, because we can just teleport back. Hehehe. Since we have a lot of money. So back to the village. Have you never been in there? Anna. Oh, she has a crush on us, I feel. Sure. I'm gonna give you some meteor dust. With 4 of them. So what you got? Okay, I don't really need them. I can just buy a key? Lol. Did not expect that. Also, apparently I've never gone inside of there. It's... Nope. What I hoped to do didn't work there. You give advice. Can I... Do you have any different things? I could make a grenade launcher. I'm gonna get a shotgun. Why not? Shouldn't be too hard. Could be fun. But first let's upgrade our shuriken. Oh, we could also give the iron edge another edge. Yeah, I like the idea of this being stronger. And we don't have the money for it, unfortunately. I mean, that's good enough. No, that didn't do anything that I wanted. Okay, let's fight the boss. Let's go. Boss done. For that... Okay, first, up the elevator. I mean, at least I'm assuming that that's gonna be the boss fight. That makes sense. Not what I intended to do. But it's okay. Well, let's see what this gets us. Ooh. Well, it gets us more level, I guess. Oh. That's kind of sad. I guess we're gonna jump down there and likely gonna encounter a boss. Yep. Ah. And that's her. That's Luna. Who are you? And why should I stop this? Oh. You're controlling Raquel? The tower might be doing more than we thought. First things first, we're gonna just activate a revive cog, an attack cog, and that defense cog, because I have so many of them. Okay, let's see. Woohoo! Oh, this one's quite fun. If you use it right. Ooh. Didn't give her. Okay, I can hurt a little bit. I mean, you're obviously gonna have another face. I should really be countering you. I really should be countering you. Yikes! Okay. Okay, that's likely the first phase, right? Huh. No second phase. I did expect there to be the second phase, huh? Oh, we got another one of those shots. And a little bit closer to the mystery. Okay. That's good. Where do you want me to go now? And what is this to begin with? It's a memory? No. Is it? It is a memory that she unlocked. Oh, got terrified, Almas. I wonder when they warmed up to each other. Because they seemed a lot closer from the infos you get from the characters. At least at the time that they got separated. Were they? Yeah. Too real. Well, yes. Apparently nothing she wants to sing about. They are warming up to each other. And almost getting a little bit more confident in these memories. Okay. Good. I wonder what things I could grab. Or could get. Who's that? I kind of want to give her all of my meat to this. Always like new cogs. Anyway. There's so many jokes you could do there. Actually, there's exactly one joke you do there, and you do it over and over again. Yeah, let's return to the village. So... What do we have? A strength ship? Greed ship? Let's grab the strength ship. But also... Can I give you another one? I do want to give you another meteor dust. How does this work? I don't think I understand how the amplifying thing works. Let's give you one more meteor dust. I guess we kind of decided who's our best friend now. Yeah, let's watch some anime. Oh, that's pretty cool. So let's see about these chips. Because I don't quite get how that works. Like, it tells you they are amplified, but I don't think they are. Weird. Confuses me. Hmm. 16. And then... $18. So that's actually better. So I don't really understand what they mean when they say they are amplified. Hmm. Like, it still seemed to be pretty linear. Anyway, it's still useful to be able to change them up as you go. Doggos? We have only found one doggo. There was the lady with the ships. Where was she? We could do more reposting and stuff. But I don't really want to fixate on that. Like, that could give us things, but I'm not really too interested in doing that. Where do we actually need to go, I wonder? We should have unlocked a couple things, so maybe try out what those are about. It should be right here. There should be something there. Yeah. That one. Even though I don't quite know what that unlocked. It's the traveling merchant. What do you got? A one-time thingy, but I'm not really interested in that one. I am interested in this shortcut. And in this one. Oh, no, why? Well, I guess I got some stuff back. Why do you not let me out of here? Wait. Okay, I didn't, but I at least had the possibility of getting something here. It's fine. We lost a lot of money because I forgot that I can't, you know, I don't need to do that. You don't need to give me that thing. I think I can get that money back at least. As long as I don't go far enough up. I think I can actually defeat them. Interestingly enough. I only do a single amount of damage. Okay, I got more money. Which is good, because that means I can upgrade and get another chip slot. So let's do that as well. I feel like there are a lot of places now but should be able to go. But I don't know where they are, so Who knows? But let's begin by going down that elevator. No, going up that elevator, I guess. More meteors. Okay. But that doesn't lead me anywhere else. I could probably give someone additional meteors. But I don't know whom I should give it to. Let's explore a little bit, I guess. Nothing much here. So what is here? I don't think I've been here. But that might be because there doesn't seem to be anything down there. Nope, nothing there. So essentially, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go that way. So maybe that is where I should be going now. Oops, that's not it. Okay. Yeah, let's teleport close to where that would be and then we can see. So there's the meteor shot 4. The 3 is where we're supposed to go now. I seem to have a lot of trouble just getting off this thing. The other thing we could do is give another person, get another person to 4, since we have enough. I think. So we could get you to 4. That gets us the crafting thing. Yeah, let's do just that. Even though I don't really do that much crafting. Yay! Now we can always craft. Which means we should really be using these things quite heavily. I don't actually have any money. But I can still make a stamina thingy. And now let's go somewhere, I guess. anything else we might get here? Oh, we can do some fishing. I'm not quite sure what for. I guess that's not nothing, but let's go there and see where we can move on at that point. Cause maybe we can. It's certainly worth trying and seeing where we can. Okay. We're suddenly fast and powerful. So that's a puzzle, obviously. Any real pattern is unlikely to be the solution, I guess. And that's not the way to go, unfortunately. I wonder, is there any clue in the environment? Well, at the oh wait, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, once more. So 4, 6, 5. I unlocked the thing. That's the way back, or a way back. Where is this? Get screwed. Take a bath. And one last. So, what's there to get here? There is an elevator down. Frozen sewers area. What do we have here? I keep pressing that, using that function, but I don't want to. And that's more meteor dust. You'll love to see it. Already good. That's already good. And we're gonna fish here. Because of course we are. And when we're gonna screw up fishing here. Exciting gameplay. Terrible rewards, mostly. Are we supposed to go here? No, definitely not. Nothing to do here. But... So presumably there will be at some point some way to utilize these areas. There might also be things over there. I mean, there are, obviously. Oh, nice. Terminal. That's a good time to recharge. That's another thing to unlock. And that's a shortcut. Much appreciated. Okay. Puzzle. Is there to do? Oh, it's sometimes that ability gets activated way too easily. That's actually a problem. Then again, it's basically just a skill issue. Okay, I see. Well, that's... So I can't get back over there, huh? Ah, okay. But... that should now give me something I can do. Also, I'm not quite sure what. Oh, I see. But I still need to get over there. Which... I have no idea how to do. This way. But one further down might do it. And then I go down here. And we have unlocked that one path. That should presumably be sufficient. Might as well heal. Despite this being weaky, weak area. Sometimes I want to no, please. It would have been nice if that were different buttons. I just want to go like that. No, I don't think I have unlocked whatever it is I need to do that. I do believe, again, it's something very similar. Possibly. Ouchie. There could be more in the other areas too. Dr. Severino. Oh, and that's another memory, huh? It's so sad. Let's hope we can at least help them. So sad. Nonetheless, puzzle time. Okay, so as said earlier, we were able to do a thing, and apparently it doesn't work that way. I think I know what I need to do, and I'm assuming there's gonna be a thing to get the water. Too bad. Let's recharge and try and get access to the next boss area. Let's do that as the thing we do today. Then we can tackle the actual boss. Next time. This is definitely going to be a little bit more. Oh, it's definitely going to be a little bit more. That is how it tends to happen. I mean, I guess I don't have to use these, but I feel like I should. I am getting very close to one-shotting these, which is exciting. Maybe I should just utilize the shotgun. Let's put this here as well, and we just have one where I use the shotgun and one where I don't. Because that seems fun. Of course. But that's entirely fine. Since I can just easily change it. I want to try the shotgun a bit. Get rid of all the rocks. So we have a lot of water, which does fit neatly into my theory of what I need to do here. Okay. I might as well get to the shuriken again. Let's see. How exactly is this gonna be used? It could be another one where you jump on a thing and then on another thing. It is. Please get off the... Oh my god. That is... Sometimes it doesn't need to be the spinny attack. You know, please. No, no. Oh boy. That could have been better. Okay, there's obviously more. And... Well, that's not it. That is, in fact, it. Yay! Nope, not digging there. Okay. I wonder whether there's anything else down there. It seems to be very cold, freezing in fact. What is this one about? It is sad that we couldn't save them. But I guess if once you're gone, you're gone. Or rather, we have no choice but to deal with them. Actually, I think the way it's phrased, I'm pretty sure that once you're unsighted, you're not coming back. So first things first, terminal time. That's pretty obvious. We can open up the door. That's pretty good. Is there anything else here? Like... There's this statue we can move. And obviously there's a chest. Don't know what it does. trying to find out. I'm not that eager to find out. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it much longer. As you can hear, I'm getting a little bit tired. And that's another part. So yeah, we're gonna find some kind of freezing thing. I think that's pretty obvious. While it was spinner last time, it's freezing this time. Nope. Gotta put this somewhere. No idea where. Actually, I do. Let's be a little bit thorough. Oh, wait. It's pretty easy. It's pretty clear what we need to do. Let's do that. And here we are in the ice zone. Exploration log 411. The situation here is critical. The entire aquarium has been frozen. The only automaton capable of such a thing would be Maria herself. She has probably gone Unsighted at this point, just like the others. We fear that if she escapes from here, she'll freeze the surface as well, risking the entire ecosystem. Yikes. What did that do? I have no idea what that is. Okay. Again, okay. What does the thing do? Let's see. Okay. There are more of these ice plates. Someone to fight, really. Not much of a problem. Might as well do this stuff. Seems to be pretty effective here. Wait, what? Spikes. Oh, wait. Oh, it's one of those puzzles. Well, I mean, it's not really much of a puzzle. You can only really push these things one way. Well, I guess you could push them two ways, but after that you could push it only one way. And it's pretty much showing you what you need to do anyway. It's still a puzzle. Okay, those are above ground. It's our friend, the merchant. I don't. I have zero interest in your stuff. Oh yeah, I can just jump over you. lasted a bit longer than I expected. Okay, so get some more ice crystals and the likes. Let's see. I mean, it didn't really do us any good destroying that thing. Honestly, brute forcing is definitely the way to go. Why are there these things? I have no idea. This is pretty easy. Okay, first thing. No. Missed by a margin. Now we have to wait. God, I'm so glad that I put the no timer thing on. It makes the whole thing a lot less tense. Which I mean, I guess could be a detriment, but I prefer it that way. Exploration log for 022. We suffered many losses here. We weren't ready for this environment, for this many Unsighted. We may not be able to defeat Mary in the state. We'll have to find another solution. Tragic. Oh. Well, that's annoying. Because that's obviously supposed to give you some solution. That's not very helpful. It's a solution for a puzzle of some kind. Somewhere. It only really gives us a single point of info. Which, I mean, I guess that makes it easier to brute force it. Okay. We can now get through the door and see what that gives us. More solutions, okay. Where was that? That was the third one, I believe. Or was it the fourth one? There are hints spread all across the aquarium, apparently for some kind of numeric order puzzle. But taking notes on them, you never know, might be useful later. So I think, okay, it was either the, I think it was this one that was number 2, then this is number 5. Should be taking note on them, I guess. I mean, I could be taking notes on them. Or I could make a screenshot. I'm just gonna remember that's like 2 or 3. And I think that's fine. Is there anything here? Not particularly. Let's see how long we're gonna do. Where is even anything else? I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot easier to just brute force them. Generally kind of weak. Main research, the most advanced deep sea exploration machine developed by Ice Core Industries. Using ice crystals and high pressure resisting alloys. Only world for humans to explore. As always, humans were pretty nasty. Well, I mean, let's be honest, corporations. And capitalism. Situation here is critical. Wait, we have been here, haven't we? Still no idea what that does. Wait, that means we have a... Wait. That's just the beginning of the whole thing. There could be something in another place, but I don't think there is. That's why that thingy was familiar to me. Can't go that way. Oh. Now where do I have to go now? I mean, I guess I could leave that as a problem for future me. Tricky. Here's a lot of darkness, mostly. Is there a path I'm missing? If I am, I am missing it very well. Oh, I have been missing it. Clearly. Okay, that's just a helping thingy. Oh, I see. Well, good to know. Now, first things first, that needs to be destroyed. Then I can do this. This gets blocked here. I can push you that way. Destroy you. Destroy you, and then I'm gonna push the statue. One over. And then one over. And I'm assuming that gets me a key. It gets me a key. I see. Okay, first shortcut. Then chest cut. No, of course not. Now. Nice. Which we honestly probably have unlimited of, since you can craft them just super easily. We weren't able to get the meteor shot. With the last of our efforts, we locked her away in the deepest room of the aquarium. Is anyone alive of them? All fighting time. Let's put on some stuff, like we have them. Okay, it's not working very well, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I can craft. Can I craft one of these? I can. That's actually pretty useful. And we can just pretty much activate them whatever. Ooh, baby. Okay, we gotta work out those. Oh wait, I gotta run away from this one. I could save a little bit of things by using certain chips now. Okay, one of them is gone. That should help things quite a lot. Okay, I gotta hang on these other things. Ooh. I can also apparently parry that one. Yikes. But I'm almost there. Almost there. And I'm dead. You know what? That's probably a good point. Return to last terminal. And That's a good... That's a good point to end it for today. Okay, that was good stream. That was fun. So we're gonna see each other again on Thursday, as always. More of this. And I'm pretty much gonna continue the way I did last week. I'm likely gonna release some more stuff on Saturday or something. Like new blog posts. I have more highlights in the pipeline. So those are also gonna be the things I'm gonna be keeping releasing until then. So until then, we get to see each other Thursday. Goodbye. Goodbye.